Hey everyone, Professor Baldwin here. Let's look at this example where we're asked to completely factor the polynomial. Now, when you see a problem say completely factor, that is a pretty good hint that there's going to be a GCF involved, or there's going to be multiple steps to factoring. So let's look. Do we have a GCF? We do. All four of these terms have a 3 in common. So our GCF is 3. And if we factor out that 3, we get the polynomial x cubed plus 2x squared plus x plus 2. And what do you notice about that polynomial we're left with? Correct, it has 4 terms. And remember, when you see 4 terms, those are easiest to factor by grouping. So we'll group the first 2 terms and we'll group the last 2 terms. Don't forget to bring that GCF of 3 down, and I like to put brackets. Now we're going to factor the first 2 terms. These first 2 terms have an x squared in common. If we factor out the x squared, that leaves us with the binomial of x plus 2. And look, that x plus 2 binomial is exactly what that second grouping is. So we know that we need to have that x plus 2 as our factored out binomial. And the only way to go from x plus 2 to a factored version of x plus 2 is to factor out the identity of plus 1. Because 1 times x plus 2 is just itself. Now that we've factored those groupings, we're going to look at what those have in common. And this first term and the second term have what in common? They have the binomial of x plus 2 in common. So we can factor out that x plus 2. And when we do that, we're left with the binomial of x squared plus 1. And don't forget, bring down that GCF we factored out from the beginning. So our final factored form is 3 times x plus 2 times x squared plus 1. And remember, whenever you factor, you can always check your answer by using distribution or FOIL. This is a great way to make sure that you did your math correctly. So here, to check, we're first going to FOIL those 2 binomials. So the first terms multiplied together are x cubed. And the outer is x times 1, or plus x. And the inner is 2 times x squared, or plus 2x squared. And the last 2 times 1 is 2. And then don't forget that we have that GCF of 3 out front. But if you notice, this form looks exactly like above, where we factored out our GCF of 3 to begin with. So we can stop here and we know that we factored correctly and got the correct answer when we got to 3 times the binomial x plus 2 times the binomial x squared plus 1.